Mr. Barzani. Thanks very much for joining us. You're joining us from Erbil in northern Iraq. What can you tell us? Have you heard that the CIA is now providing the Peshmerga fighters directly with weapons?
Well, thanks for having me. Unfortunately, the help came a little too late. Now, there has been some shipments of supplies of mostly ammunition to the Peshmergas, but if there had been support, of military support to the Kurds, most of what we see happening now could have been prevented.
Because the Peshmerga are wonderful, very heroic fighters. I know you've been appealing to the United States and to other international powers for a long time. What was the reason they gave you why they wouldn't help you directly? I know they're usually supposed to go through the central government in Baghdad, but we know that Nouri al-Maliki's regime there was no great friend of the Peshmerga or the Kurds. So what was the excuse that the U.S. gave you for delaying providing direct weaponry to your fighters in the midst of this horrible situation?
Well, no one wanted to really deal with the Kurdish forces directly, and everything had to go through Baghdad. And unfortunately, Baghdad was not very supportive of arming the Peshmergas at the time. And unfortunately, most of the arms that were given to the Iraqi military later on were left at the posts and were seized by the ISIS, which later on they used against our Peshmergas.
So when you say, Mr. Barzani, now it's too late, tell me what's the situation on the ground right now as far as the Kurds are concerned, the Yazidis, other minorities, Shiites. How strong is ISIS right now? What needs to be done to change that?
In terms of telling you it's too late, I mean, it could have been, what we see could have been prevented if the Peshmergas were well armed. Right now, Peshmergas are outgunned by the ISIS, and ISIS has in its possession most of the arms that were left at the posts in both Iraqi military divisions and brigades that left their posts, and also from Syria. So ISIS now really has armaments that are much stronger, much more powerful firepower than the Peshmergas. If the Peshmergas could have this weapon, they could have defeated ISIS before they could commit this act of genocide against the Yazidis and Muslims and Christians in Shingar and elsewhere in the country.